Hello, my friends, it is Dr. Jimmy, and I have just made the first part of my video on the recent announcement that was made on Tuesday, week before last, July 16th, 18 days ago, for the entire event of Universal Studios Japan Halloween Horror Nights 2019, which will begin in exactly 35 days, exactly 5 weeks from today, on Saturday, July 7th. In fact, on the morning of Saturday, July 7th, because many of the haunted houses and attractions open as early as 10 o'clock, or one of the rides was open by 9. So isn't that fun, the horror ride, Black Hole? And I talked a bit about the whole Screaming Halloween that they're doing, and I had just started talking about the adult Halloween and talked about Hotel Albert 2, Requiem, and the Cursed Rose Garden. And I talked quite a bit about this year's event, but then I realized I might not be able to do a video that goes beyond an hour. I've also discovered that I should bring in a handkerchief with me. With my new light, it makes me sweat. I didn't realize it would do that. Oh my goodness, it's just like real show business. The sweat of the spotlight. Oh my, it's hot in here. The spotlight. I'm burned. It burns. It burns. So I had already covered a lot of the event, talked about the whole history of Universal Studios Japan Horror Nights to some degree, got one of the dates wrong, thinking they revived it in 2010 when they actually revived it in 2011. After the first one in 2002, they revived it in 2011. I talked about how they do the daytime event every year, and I mentioned, of course, the street zombies and the zombie to dance, Resident Evil, the Extreme, a maze they're having this year, an upcharge maze, Area 51 as one of the mazes, the Black Hole Ride, Cult of Chucky maze, Sadako Cursed attraction, all part of Screaming Halloween, because there's Screaming Halloween and Adult Halloween. And then I started Adult Halloween with the upcharge interactive immersive theatrical experience maze called Hotel Albert 2 Requiem. And then the first ever adult horror area, or zone, scare zone, basically for Adult Halloween, the Cursed Rose Garden. So I continue with the Adult Halloween section of Halloween Horror Nights 2019 in Japan, and come to one of my favorites, and I hope someday to see it for myself. The Albert Lounge. Yes, they have a haunted maze with its own bar. And so while you go through the maze, that whole immersive thing that's set in this creepy hotel, you can go out in a little lounge and have a cocktail or two in the haunted house itself. It says here, enjoy a full-fledged photo shoot by a photographer to commemorate the beautiful and luxurious lounge and special cocktail experience. And they have a photo here of the Albert Lounge, and I believe this is an actual photo of the one they had last year, of the Albert Lounge, in the haunted maze itself. And then here is some more information on the cocktails themselves. Hotel Albert Special. Please choose your favorite drink from the menu. 2 kinds of alcohol and 2 non-alcoholic types. In the lounge on the day. So you can't order it in advance, in other words. Number 1 is the Royal Pink, which is non-alcoholic. Number 2, Twilight is alcoholic. Number 3, Nightmare is non-alcoholic. And number 4, Lady Killer is alcoholic. What's actually in them, I have no bloody idea. But let's see. But the 2 odd-numbered ones, so the first one, number 1 and number 3 are non-alcoholic, and number 2 and number 4 are alcoholic. If you remember, number 2 is called Twilight. Number 4 is called Lady Killer. Let's see, what do they call that? Royal Pink and Nightmare are the 2 non-alcoholic drinks. Royal Pink is the pink one, and Nightmare is the red, white, and blue one in the middle. So these are the drinks you can get at the Hotel Albert Cocktail Lounge. It says drinks only, single item, are not available. The photograph is an image. Well, of course it is. What else would you call it? The contents of the menu may be changed depending on the purchase situation. Hotel Albert Photo Opportunity. In the beautiful and luxurious lounge, a photo opportunity where you can take authentic photos by photographers. That's a bit redundant. Here it shows an example of what that, I suppose, is going to be like, and I think you get to dress up in some sort of costume that you can rent for the photos. All right, let me get back there. So, after that, they now have a horror restaurant as part of the adult Halloween. Parkside Grill Cursed Rose Feast, and that opens at 5:30 in the evening. Gastronomy in the House of Tragedy, beautiful horror restaurant for adults. Welcome to the party of fear that the late Mistress Rosa is now in charge of in one of the halls where the aftermath of the cruel tyranny that once occurred remains. A horror restaurant for adults who immerse themselves in a beautiful nightmare while enjoying the gastronomy that the chefs of the museum behave. Behave? Oh, behave. I don't know. More menu information coming soon. Well, anyway, here's the photo they have here. We see a sinister shadow. Is that Rosa? In the back there. Who is that lurking up there with the silhouette? But spoopy restaurant. Very elegant haute cuisine for... Oh, yes, oh my God. Iron Chef. Here we have Iron Chef Transylvania competing against Iron Chef Black Lagoon. And then there's a show. That's just me being silly. Here we have a show in the horror theater. The show they had last year, they're reviving it, and it's called Blood Legend. I insist, it is called Blood Legend, but sometimes when you're translating through a web translator like Bing or Google Translate, and it's in Japanese phonetically, katakana, and reads Blood Legend. It doesn't understand that you're saying Burado meaning blood, and it might think you're saying Burado meaning Brad. And so I swear to God, what came up from the translate. Here, you can see for yourself. Make it big. Brad Legend. Who's Brad Legend? Well, actually, it's Blood Legend. It starts at 6 p.m. each night, and it is in the 4D theater. And it reads, beautiful but terrifying to the vampire's residence. The legendary vampire who wanders in search of human blood was real. It is terrible fact in the world to witness in the house of the vampire. The fear of being dressed in a magnificent beauty leans on your neck. Again, I love these translations, but it is Blood Legend. If you look closely, you can see it does say Blood Legend in the actual graphic. Ooh, hot vampire. Rrr. Yes. Quite fun. Actually, with the red eyes, it looks a little bit, except for the fangs, but with the facial hair, the little bit of stubble and the red eyes and the dark hair, kind of reminds me of Tom Ellis as Lucifer. Those of you who enjoyed Lucifer's 4th season on Netflix, I live for the dance number in the season finale. That opening dance number, my God, that was amazing. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. I hope they do more of that sort of thing for season 5. Okay, in addition to Adult Halloween and Screaming Halloween, which you've now completely covered, they're going to do their family-friendly event, as always. In fact, they've had that every year since the park opened, and this part they've always had, although they've only done the Halloween Horror Night thing As I said 9 previous times, this will be the 10th time. But this year, after they've called it various names, last year they started giving it its own funny name, Koakawa Halloween. Koakawa is a Japanese portmanteau word which means both scary and cute, sort of combining the words for scary and cute. Did I already say that in this? No, I said that in the previous video, the part 1 video. So it's, I think the best word to translate it into English would be spoopy. Doesn't translate it, it's scary, cute Halloween. But they have a little thing about it here where it says Koakawa Halloween up here in Japanese, and the picture I think I showed you before with the Minions and Snoopy and Elmo and Hello Kitty and a Bride of Frankenstein minion. Adorable. But here, and a Frankenstein minion also, that looks cute. But it also says here, the translation, all over the park, everywhere, happy surprise. A scary Halloween full of surprises that'll make you smile all day long. This year, it is full of super happy surprises, full of mischievous heart. It's scary. It's so cute. With park friends. I thought it said fiends for a moment. It's just my Freudian reading, I suppose. With park friends who have been transformed into monsters. There are a lot of pranks and happy trick-or-treat. Festa de parade covered in paper Y bubbles. Oh, paper fluffy bubbles. Somehow the Y got moved to the from the word fluffy to the word bubbles. So it read fluffy Y bubbles. It actually means fluff bubbles. Here, you see what I mean? Right there. See where it says fluff Y bubbles. It's supposed to mean fluffy bubbles. Okay. Paper fluffy bubbles, and even a limited time night greeting. Let's enjoy Halloween only now from morning to night with the whole family. Now, last year they included a sort of arcade area, like a big indoor auditorium, to continue the daytime event at night, so there'll be places for kids to go when their parents or older brothers are getting the crap scared out of them by the street zombies. And there's something new added this year. It's called Universal Market. There's a picture, but I don't think it's even really an artistic representation. The idea is to have a street market. I don't think it's going to look like that because obviously it would be Halloween themed, and that's not. It says here, happy surprises await you, Halloween limited market. The food-packed market, which is unique to this season, is even more tension up in a fun prank. Happy surprises don't stop in the market. Menu information coming soon. Recommended for those who want to enjoy Halloween in the park anyway. So, that indeed is what has been released so far, at least since I last looked. They might have more information up already. They're going to put up some menu information for the restaurant, the horror restaurant, and this market, and probably other information about Universal Surprise Halloween, Koakawa Halloween than they've put out, because that they had the least bit of information about, but mostly people want to know about Horror Nights anyway. So that completes then, after this first video, and now this second one, which is a lot shorter, mind you, and I have covered all of what was revealed Tuesday the 16th of July, 18 days ago, for Universal Studios Japan Halloween Horror Nights 2019, starting in exactly 5 weeks from today, on the morning of Saturday, September 7th. And I wish I could go and see it for myself, but I don't think that's going to be possible this year. But I do hope to vicariously enjoy it through various videos that others will load up on YouTube of their enjoyment of the events, especially those posted by my friend Scott Yukin, who I mentioned in the previous video, who had been a scare actor many times at Universal Orlando, including most recently in 2014, before he moved off to Osaka, where he's lived ever since, and has his own YouTube channel, You Can Do It, That's Yukendoit. Yuken is his last name, Yuken. Not Yukon. That's a Yeti location in another house altogether. They should have a house called Terror of the Yukon. But no. Scott Yukon does have his website, his YouTube videos, and look at those because he puts up trip report videos for Horror Nights every year from Japan. And he'll attend the event and tell you what's going on and how interesting it is and what happens when it rains and when you can't get a special ticket and then you have to go back and try again and all sorts of interesting ramifications. It's always quite fun to enjoy the trip vicariously through his camera lens because I can't get there physically. So I recommend those to you as well if you can't make the trip to Japan. Now, there's still a lot more I have to do, and I don't know how much more I'm going to do today after making 2 videos running over an hour. Oh, and I'm wiped out because this light is hot. Ah! I didn't realize that I'm going to have to bring a bandana with me to wipe myself off and all the sweat on my nose. From, like, is it sun burning my nose? That can't be. Is that a UV light? I hope not. I'll get a skin cancer from these videos. I don't think so, but it's getting all bright. Oh, so I'm going to try. I think it's just a trace of rosacea or something. But anyway, I will have to do another video for the announcement that was made the very next day, Wednesday, July 17th, for the 6th haunted house in Orlando and the 5th haunted maze in Hollywood, which was Ghostbusters. And then the announcement that was made last week, Thursday, July 25th, in which we got the 7th haunted house in Orlando and the 6th haunted maze in Hollywood, which were both killer clowns from outer space. And then I'll have to make a video for the most recent Horror Nights announcement, which were technically made on August 1st, which was the day before yesterday, except it was done in a different part of the world where it was still July 31st in the United States. Yes, so it was made actually on Wednesday night, and that was an entire event reveal for Universal Studios Singapore Halloween Horror Nights 9, including all their haunted houses and scare zones and shows, and Icon, because they still got icons in Singapore, even if they don't have them anywhere else. Yay. And then, of course, I have to continue the history of Halloween Horror Nights 25 at some day. But tonight, definitely, even if I don't get to any of those other videos today, tonight I hope to make my 4th haunted house cocktail for Halloween Horror Nights 29 from the 4th officially announced house, which, if you recall, was the original house, Depths of Fear. And I found the ingredient I wanted, and so it should be a very intriguing cocktail that is very apt for what is described to be in that house. Oh, that should be tonight, regardless of anything else. Oh, so having got all that through, I now bid you a wonderful rest of your life, however long that may be. Hopefully long enough to see that new epic universe in 2023. Until then, my friends, pleasant screams.